Hey everyone, I'm trying to, over the next couple of days, upload several different videos of things that I know enough about that I can try and help someone who may not know much about. I'm actually in the process of uploading a short video on bridging network connections as I film this one. So this one will actually tackle the basic installation and setup of XBMC. I'm going to try to do it in a couple of parts because although it's an easy process, it can be quite long to describe in detail. So this part one will be the basic download and installation of XBMC, which if you've ever installed a program before, it's pretty much the same process, but for those who may not know or may not even know where to get it, this should hopefully help them out. So what we'll do is we'll first start opening up the browser. So what we'll do is we'll go to www.xbmc.org. Now, I don't know what it's going to be like in the near future. XBMC is actually changing their name to Kodi, as you can see on the screen here. I'm not particularly sure the real reasons behind it. I personally not a big fan of the new name, but they're changing it anyway. So, but yeah. So what we'll do? So I'll list this as a XBMC/Kodi setup, but I prefer the term XBMC, and it's more popular, so you might have more of an idea of what I'm talking about. So for this video, I'm just going to refer to it as XBMC, but like I said, that may change. It may in the future be called Kodi. I don't think they're changing anything much apart from the name, so all these processes should work pretty much the same way. So what we'll do is we go to the downloads button up the top here. Now I'm using a Windows 8 machine. As you can see, there is 8.1 Pro. As you can see, they've created different versions for several different platforms. So everything from Android to Mac to Linux to the Raspberry Pi to the Apple TV, and then of course they have XBMC Ubuntu, which is their own pre-packaged version of XBMC on top of Lubuntu, which is an LXDE Linux distribution. That's more for an appliance feel where you don't have anything else you're using the machine that you're going to install it for. It's basically just a appliance, very much like how a DVD player would work. You just turn it on and put a movie on or a TV show on, and that's it. So, but for this purpose, I'm going to show you the Windows installation, because that's where most people will probably start anyway. That's where I started. So what we'll do is we will go down and click here where it says File and then Windows. So this is the latest stable release. If you go down the page, you can actually see development releases. I would strongly suggest, until you know more about XBMC, that I would stick with the stable ones. It's always a good rule of thumb anyway, if you don't want to keep messing around with everything. Unless you'd like to be a bug tester, then of course go right ahead. So what we'll do is we will start by doing that. Now, yours may look a little bit different. I'm using a download manager called Internet Download Manager. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the download. So what I'm going to do now, because it may take a little bit, I'm just going to pause the video and then I'll come back once the download is finished. Okay, so now that the file has downloaded, what I'm going to be doing is going to be clicking over. I said yours might be different, but for mine, I just click that button. Okay, you'll be brought to the XBMC setup wizard. Now, like I said, unless you've never installed a piece of software before, then this should be a piece of cake. Simply, you just keep clicking next. You agree to the license agreement. I don't think anyone ever reads them. I know I don't, but they're there if you want to. Okay, now you can disable some of these things like the PVR or the personal video recorder. I think it's just easier just to leave them all. I mean, it doesn't take up much space by leaving it in, and it doesn't do any harm, so just leave it and click next. Okay, usually just it's best to leave it just in the default location to install it. Click next, and hit install. Now, this shouldn't take too long. If it takes too long, I will pause the video again, but it shouldn't. So, we'll just let that install for a second. This is a really great piece of software though. I've been using it for about 2 years now, and I have it on several machines. And I watch all my content on it. I've never had an issue. I've never found a video of the file that hasn't been able to play, which is good. It's got a bunch of built-in codecs into the player, so it's all good. I strongly suggest you check it out, which I hope you are by watching this video. Okay, so it should almost be finished. Just setting up DirectX, and there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this purpose, because I don't know how this screen recording is going to react once I have put this in full screen, I'm just going to check this, of course, to run it. So the screen may go a bit funny for a sec. That's just while I adjust it to a windowed mode, but we'll see how we go. Oh, of course, make sure if it asks you to with your firewall, you allow the access so it can access your home network if you're going to be watching files over the network. So we'll do that. Okay, so give me 1 second. Okay, I'm just going to make this a windowed. Just might be a bit easier to do things. Okay, so this is the default XBMC interface. It's fairly simple. That's the point. It's so everyone can use it. Now I'm just using my mouse, my keyboard, but you can of course use your mouse if you want. But the keyboard's a bit more precise in the things you click on. Of course, you can set up things like remote controls, or you can use your Android or iPhone or iPad or anything to. There's ways to set that up, and I'll cover that in the future videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call this part 1. I'll record the next one, and then we'll start digging into adding files to the thing. Okay, so I'll be back soon.